What do you think it'll take for you to get over insecurity moving forward?
I'm not trying to, man.
You're not trying to?
I'm not trying to.
I thought you said if you could get rid of it, you'd be able to do bigger
It'd be unbelievable, but it's not a target I have.
Letting go of insecurity.
No, I think it's just a human condition. I think it's part of the game. I think it's part of being a human being any more than I want to get rid of my arms, you know, right. Or my legs, or my arms and my legs. My body is a limitation.
Yeah.
You know, so.
How do you manage it better then? Like for people that are saying, I want a 10X, but I always have insecurity and fear that I'm going to fail or people are going to show up and the deal's I'm going to go broke. How do you personally tell the conversation to yourself, to the insecurity and fear? Yeah,
it's not stop, it's come. You know, for me, fear, the things I'm scared of, I'm like, come on. You know, it's calling me. It says, hey, come play over here. It's an indicator. It's a good indicator, not a bad indicator.
Lean into it.
Lean into it. Come play with me, okay? So I either have fear because it's really dangerous and stupid.
Or like physically dangerous.
Yeah, like I'm gonna get to the edge of this thing. I'm gonna get on the other side of that thing. I'm probably gonna be scared.
Yeah.
Now, why am I gonna be scared though? Like, because I don't know what it feels like to fall, you know, this many floors and hit.
Yeah.
Maybe it does. Maybe there's no big deal about it. Maybe dying's not even a big deal.
Right.
But I don't have the experience. I don't consciously have the experience. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I used to be like, I can't buy a $78,000 house. I was terrified the first house I bought. I don't know what I'm doing.
Because you didn't have the experience.
I don't have the experience, man.
Yeah.
This is the problem. And you're not going to have the experience if you don't move through the fear. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people do it once and then they don't do it again. You got to like, it's not going away.
Yeah.
It's just you're going to get used to the ski boots. Mm-hmm. You know, the first time you put them on, man, they're freaking banging your shins.
Hurt.
Like, I can't, man. But you just wear into them.
Yeah.
If you're afraid, that means you're on the right track. If you are afraid to do the thing that's on your list, your dream list, where you want to go, what you want to accomplish, if you're afraid of that thing, if looking at it makes your heart go boom, 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 it means you're on the right track. You do not want to live a life with no fear. People ask me all the time, how do I be fearless? How do I conquer my goals without fear? You don't. If you are fearless, if you have no fear in your life, it means that you hate your life. It means that you are just photocopying the same day on repeat over and over and over again. You're only fearless if you know exactly how it's going to play out, right? If you knew exactly what was going to happen, you will not be afraid. If you had to go brush your teeth, you could do it. You won't be afraid to do it because you've done it a million times before. But it's also boring. Imagine if you had your whole life not being afraid. How bored you would be. And we as humans, we have this desire for stability. You don't want to be just constantly in the unknown and constant in the fear and stressed out all the time. We want to have stability, but not too much stability because we also want the variety. We also want the spice of life. We also want to push. We also know we're capable of more. You're capable of more. You've got giant potential in you. You got Michael Jordan level genius at something. It's not going to be realized by not doing anything that you're afraid of. You have to jump into those things. Now, think about what you're afraid of. Most of the things that we're afraid of are not actually physically harming to us. Think about what are you most afraid of? What do you really want to do that you're afraid of? Most of the time, it's not something that's actually going to cause you physical harm, right? I would be afraid to go rob this store or steal this car, right? I mean, I'm afraid to do that, but I don't want to do that. It's not in my ambition to do that, especially since it does a disservice to other people. Most of the things you want to do are not actually going to be physically harmful to you. Most of the things that you are afraid to do, you're afraid of failing, not even of the failure, you're afraid of failing in front of people. You're afraid of who sees you when you're failing. You're afraid of, if I fall down on the hill, who's going to watch me? I remember when I first learning to snowboard, if I was the only one on the hill and I fell down, no big deal. When I fell down, I'd be looking, oh, who saw me fall down again and again and again and again and again. Be worried, I'd be self-conscious about who would see me fall, right? You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of who sees you when you fall. And that's a big deal because as long as you live your life in fear of what other people think of you, you're never going to accomplish the thing that you want to accomplish. if you are governed in your life by other people's expectations of you, you stay small forever. You're trying to please everybody around you and live their version of your life, never getting to actually live your own version. And so you have to lean into that fear. The goal isn't to offend the people around you. The goal isn't to say, hey, look, I told you so, or I hate you, or anything like that. It has nothing to do with them. The goal is about living your life. And so it's leaning into the things that you're afraid of. Right now, I'm working on a big project that is secret for the moment, but stay tuned, it's coming. And I'm afraid of it. I'm afraid of it. I'm afraid it's not gonna work out. I'm afraid we're going to disappoint people. I'm afraid we're gonna promise people things and then not be able to deliver. And so I'm working really hard not to have that become a reality, but I'm really, it's a big stretch from where I'm at right now. And I'm afraid that it's not gonna work. I'm gonna disappoint people. And because that is the fear, I have to do it. It's not a good enough reason. It means that you're on the right track. The thing that I'm afraid of means I have to go off and do it to show myself that Evan Carmichael does the things that he's afraid of. That's the identity you want to build, is that you attack the things that you're afraid of. The path through the fear is through, not stopping. If you stop, you'll always be afraid of that thing. If you're bumping up against the fear and then you say, oh, I can't do it, I'm afraid, that fear will always own you. Where every time you go through the fear, you get a little bit stronger. You're capable of doing more things. You're capable of taking on bigger projects and bigger fears and inspiring the people behind you, right? Every time you take that step of growth, if you go to step 500 on the staircase of growth, you can help people get to step 499. But if you're stuck at step 2, you can only help people get to step 1. So if you want to serve, you want to give, you want to contribute, you want to reach your potential, you want to be the Michael Jordan genius that you've got and share that with the world, you have to step into your fears, and that becomes an inspiration for other people as well. So how do you do it? What are some practical steps for you to actually execute this? Step number 1 is recognize the fear. Most of the time when you're afraid of something, we don't actually call it fear, we call it something smarter. We call it a reason. Right? Which is really just an excuse, which is really just fear, but we call it a reason. I can't do that now because I don't have enough time. Oh, I didn't go to school for that. Oh, I don't have the resources. Oh, I don't have the experience. I'm gonna start that next week, or this is a great January 1st goal. And you convince yourself of all the reasons why you can't do it. Or I'm a perfectionist and I can't start a YouTube channel until I have the right gear and the right camera and the right, guys, I'm using an iPhone and a headset. I'm making videos. You can make videos. You already have all the gear that you need. We come up with all these stories, these reasons, and you believe the reason because they're smart reasons. They're smart. You wouldn't believe a stupid reason. It's a smart reason. That's what you're believing. But really it's just fear. So step number 1 is to actually catch the fear. To stop believing your excuses. Catch the fear, right? And that's really, really, really hard. You probably won't even catch it most of the time, but catching it in the moment as much as possible is step number 1. Step number 2 is then doing the thing. So when you catch the fear, you have to then immediately go do the thing. What is that thing? Maybe that thing is making a phone call. Maybe that thing is making a video. Maybe that thing is writing that message. Maybe that thing is booking the appointment, booking the flight. Like, what is that thing for you? To train yourself that you're not gonna delay. You caught the fear, you're gonna do that thing immediately. One of my favorite things to do when I'm working with people is as soon as they come up with some goal, some idea, I said, okay, great, what are we gonna do right now? I was on an IG Live yesterday on my channel, on Instagram, where the guy was from South Africa and he wanted to start doing coaching sessions on Instagram. I said, okay, great, let's start. You know, what time is it there now? 9 o'clock, perfect, okay, so let's book your first coaching sessions. And I pulled people from the chat, like, who would love to have a coaching session with him? And we pulled the first 2 people to say, okay, you're on tomorrow and you're on the next day. Tomorrow morning, you're with him. The next day, you're with him. And I want an update. It was, I want an update on Movement Makers, right? So he's part of my Movement Makers program and we're gonna meet on the Thursday. So I want an update by Thursday. I wanna know how the first 2 went. And we booked it for him live. I love doing that kind of, always, like immediate action. go, because you're afraid. Like, oh my God, my heart's beating, boom, 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 right? Immediate action. So 1 is catching the fear. 2 is taking immediate action towards it. Like right away, we got to do something. We got to have the courage to step into that fear. And then 3 is the boom, boom, boom test. And that's when your heart is beating, boom, 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 boom. That helps feed into step number 1 of catching the fear. If you're in your head talking yourself down from that big idea that you've got, that you can't do it and you're not smart enough and you're not good enough and all that stuff, but you at the same time feel your heart going like this, boom, boom, boom. Hey, dogs. Hey, Tristana. Where's Timo? Timo? Oh, okay, he's looking. He's looking for Nina. She went shopping. He's not paying attention to me. Oh, there he is. He's been here the whole time. We love it. You feel your heart going boom, 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 boom. It means you're afraid. And even though your head's telling you that you can't do it and finding logical reasons, really you're just afraid. So use the boom, boom, boom test. I call it the boom, boom, boom test, when you can feel it. Think about that idea that you've got. Does it make your heart go boom, boom, boom? Yes, perfect, go. That feeds into number 1, you're just afraid, and that feeds into number 2, which is take immediate action. Your life is on the other side of your fears. You have to decide, when do you stop living in the fear and finally step into the life that you want for yourself, to have the impact that you know you can have, to create the life that you want for yourself, for your family, that they deserve. Everything you want, everything is in the other side of your fears. And it's time today to attack them.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
This isn't a magic act. These are basic skills. And basic skills are duplicatable. And the reason most salespeople have such trouble is because for years we have been trying, sales professionals and the gurus have been teaching manipulation tactics. Dodge the question, don't answer, control the customer, the whole neurolinguistics bull. These are gimmicks. We have never hired one person that had a neurolinguistics background that worked for us successfully. So you guys that are in the NLP stuff, I'm just telling you, we've hired hundreds and hundreds of salespeople. I've been with tens of thousands of salespeople. I have never seen one person that got into this neuro bull that was a successful salesperson over long periods of time and did not bring drama to our organization. I don't want drama, dude. I want production. So when he sits a certain way, I don't start thinking about, man, imagine me in a sales presentation. I'm like, I got to be like him, and then now I got to be like her, and now I got to be like him. Guess who you can't be when you're doing that? You, man, what a diss. I want to be me. The power resonates for me, my truth, my authenticity, and my transparency. Okay? So if you can't do that, you can't build a business, and you certainly can't duplicate it. I never ask him to be me. I'm like, hey, bro, when somebody says that the payments are too high, what do you do? What do you say? Well, I'm with you. Everybody try that. No, I didn't say it like that. I said, I'm with you. See, and I'm with you. Hey, man, hey, the price is too high. I knew that before you did. Everybody try that. Okay, see, he gets to be him, but the words will work because all I'm doing is basically agreeing with the customer. This isn't a trick here, okay? This course is, I'm doing a dinner tonight for $25,000 at my house, okay? I think we got 2 slots left. The entire $25,000 goes to the Grant Cardone Foundation. Any of you want to put 25 grand in? Please, see one of my people, come have dinner at my house. We'll spend a couple hours over there. The money's going to go to help kids. Some of you in the room immediately say, oh my God, 25 grand. That's a lot of money. Man, I know that. You don't think I know $25,000 is a lot of money? I'm the one that decided what the freaking entry would be. I said, what would be too much? 25 grand. 25 grand would be a lot of damn money. Somebody gonna be like, damn, that's a lot of money. Okay, and the people that it's a lot of money, that think small, that go small and don't wanna help, won't come to my house and have dinner. And the people that are like, dude, I'd go spend 2 hours with that cat, man, for 25 grand, get pictures with him at his new home, with his family, with 8 or 10 other people, and the money's going to charity, and I get to write it off. I get to bang the IRS. Who hates the IRS? Well, this is a chance to give them a good. Okay? So you see what I'm doing? I'm handling all the objections right now. I understand 25 grand's a lot of money, man. I know what you got to do to earn 25 grand. You got to do crazy stuff to earn 25 grand. And if you keep thinking that, earning 25 grand is always going to be a problem for you. Hopefully for everybody in the room, one day you're going to be able to earn 25,000 every hour. All commitments require investments in time and money. All commitments. You cannot make a commitment without time and money being invested. Time and money has to be invested. You have to invest time and money. If it's not on your schedule, you're not committed. If you don't have money backed by that time on your calendar, if it's not costing you money, or you don't have money deposited right there, you are not committed. Where you have your money is where your personal, spiritual, emotional, physical commitments go. Wherever your money is who you are most committed to. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citibank. You guys, many of you got more money at Wells Fargo than you have invested in your own advertising and marketing. Because you guys are committed to the lie, the big marketing scam of the universe. Save your money. Save your money. What you should do is you should get a good job. First of all, you should avoid borrowing money unless it's for something that we think is good for you. Right? So, first of all, you should not borrow money unless it's one of our credit cards, where we give you points. And one day, you too will be able to stay at a Holiday Inn for free. Where, by the way, the buffets at the kitchen are free. You can eat all you want, not to mention that you're already overweight, but you could go there and eat all you want, for as long as you want, by the way. If you just borrow enough money on this card to buy enough stuff you don't need to pay us back one day if you can, right? And then during the week when you're not borrowing money from us, what you should do is spend your time getting money to pay for the belt that you bought and put on your credit card that you can't write off, by the way. So this is what Americans are doing. People all around the world spend 40 hours a week running around, hustling. Hey, could I buy it? Yeah. They get $100. What do they do now? They run over here to the bank, drop off the $100. Then they run back out, do another 40 weeks, pick up $1,000. Man, I had a great week, didn't I? Bang. And then they run over here and drop it off at the bank. These are the good Americans. The bad Americans go pick up $1,000, go to the club and blow it. The good Americans run around collecting $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. Hustlers, man, hard workers. They get sophisticated. I'm gonna put a little money in the bank over here at Wells Fargo. I'm gonna have a little over here at Citibank. I'm gonna spread this around. I wanna be a slave to many, not a slave to a few. I'm going to give a little to Bank of America. I'm going to give a little bit to Citibank. I'm going to give a little bit to the Wells Fargo. I'm going to give a little bit to Fidelity and Merrill Lynch. I'm going to give a little bit to my IRA and my 401k. I'm going to bust my ass. I'm going to spend 40 years killing myself to make sure all these institutions have my money, where they pay me nothing for the sake of security. Right? And then you guys look up one day and you're like, where's my money at? It's in all these accounts. By the way, what do those people do with your money when they get it? They call me up. Hey, Mr. Cardone, we got another dummy. Guy he must have spent 160 hours, put together a little bank, extremely disciplined, dumbass. And he saved $100,000 with us. And we'd like to know, Mr. Cardone, if you would like to borrow that money. His money. Yeah, I sure would. Because we know, Mr. Cardone, that you'll put that money to work. Okay? This guy that gave it to us, all he wants to do is work. I'm like, yeah, send me that money, bro. Send me that money. Okay? And they, by the way, they're not done calling me. They're going to call 9 other people. They're going to take his $100,000 and they're going to say, they're going to lend it out $900,000 of it. And this is the banking system. And that is debt, by the way. That US dollar. Okay? They're basically multiplying money. If the bank doesn't keep it, why do you spend all your time giving it to them to keep for you? You have to prepare for inflation hitting you. And look, I just want to give you a heads up on this thing. It's happening right now. I believe we're already in a recession, not to be a doomsday guy, because I think that there's ways for you to take advantage of this. But I just passed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shops and nobody's in them. So the American consumer has like $18 trillion between cash accounts and money markets. You can't get negative right now when you see the bad news. This is an opportunity for you and your family to actually expand, not contract. So you're going to see bad news in the headlines everywhere. Once the politicians start allowing the mass media to actually distribute the bad news, and we're not talking about Ukraine and COVID, we're not talking about abortion rulings, because all that is just distraction for the bigger problem, which is the economy. The economy is problematic, okay? You got the Fed pushing interest rates, 0.5 point yesterday. There was a rebound in the stock market. This morning I wake up, the stock market rolls over by 1,000 points, okay? There's going to be blood in the market. So I'm gonna do a training on this. I'm gonna give you a few tips right now, but first thing is you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up to what's happening. You gotta know that, hey, what do I do now? What do I do if this happens? 1, do not buy into the bad news, okay? 2, you gotta expand into the opportunity, and it's very, very difficult to do. You've heard of wealthy people doing this before, how they take advantage of situations, okay? I'm gonna show you how to do that whether you have cash or no, you don't have cash, whether you have credit or don't have credit. Because during times of contraction, what happens is, for instance, there's 32 million small businesses in America. Many of you are going out trying to start a new business where what you ought to do is just kind of slide sideways and go buy one, the neighbor next door to you. I mean, from laundromats to plumbers to internet businesses to coaching businesses, you name it, chiropractors, dentists, like in every sector that you're involved in right now in your business or your interest or your passion, I'll promise you, there are thousands, not 1 or 2, but thousands of small businesses like yours that are similar to your passion, that would feed your passion, that already have branding, already have marketing built in, already have a name, already have a location, already have revenue, already have credit lines that you can literally just slide into. Okay, but you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that if all you're doing is buying into bad news. So number 1, you can't buy into the bad news because remember, all bad news sooner or later is beat out by the need to survive and the economy to go on. The economy will always go on, okay? Not just here in America, but around the world. Always, 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 we always get on the other side of bad news. So the first thing to do is you gotta keep your head out of the garbage dump. You gotta stay positive, and trust me, when it goes negative, it is not easy to stay positive. People always like, oh yeah, I can stay positive on my own. Probably not, because you're not gonna be on your own. You're gonna be surrounded by bad news everywhere. So number 2, you gotta think about how do you expand despite the fact that you don't have money and you don't have credit, or you do have money and you do have credit, but you don't wanna use either one because you're terrified, and you will be. The third thing you have to figure out to do, okay, is exactly what sectors will survive long term. What sectors are going to win through contractions? Because what happens in a contraction, what happens is weak businesses get squeezed out, weak names get squeezed out, okay? Weak operators get squeezed out, and the strong come in and take over that. Either the technology takes over and disrupts the space,
or a person, typically a person or an operator comes in and then scales that business.
The theme that runs in my life is just disappointment throughout the whole thing. Particularly the first, from 10 years old to 25. And then 25 to 50, you know, I was doing better because I had a drug problem at 16.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Was that the disappointment, or was it like
No. The drugs were a byproduct. You know, It was, the disappointment was, you know, the school thing. School was disappointing. No uncles, no dad.
Right.
I didn't know direction, just boredom. Right. That's why what you do with these the races at least keeps somebody occupied for some moment of time that gives them a goal big enough and a challenge.
Sure.
I didn't have any challenges.
So you didn't have anybody like setting some goals up in front of you saying?
No. When my dad died, I kept waiting for one of the uncles to step up, and they didn't.
Got it.
And that pissed me off because I'm like, dude, somebody's got to step up and give me a little guidance here.
But you had older brothers and sisters?
My older brother died when I was 20.
Right.
So 10 years after my dad died.
Got it.
So there was no men.
Got it.
Just a bunch of women.
And mom wasn't like setting big goals for you?
No. My mom grew up in bread lines. So,
right.
You know, I'd go to my mom. I remember I did a deal when I was 30. Bought my first piece of real estate. And, Mom, I bought this piece of real estate. It was $3 million or $1.9 million. And she's like, wow, that's great. But you know, I love you just the way you are.
Right.
And I hung up the phone. She said that to me 1,000 times. And I hung up the phone and said, yeah, but I don't love me the way I am. And then my counselor buddy, Dale, says, you need to love yourself the way you are. I said, ain't never gonna happen, dude.
Right.
I said, that's the big lie. I don't wanna love me the way I am. I wanna become the guy I should be.
I just had a coaching call with some friends of mine. They come in every month and they're working on the business. They're gonna bust $1 million this month. When I met them, they were literally, the company was not making money. They're gonna make $1 million. They asked me a question today that I wanna talk about. They're like, dude, how are you? Everybody we talk to talks about being nice to their people, taking care of their people, doing this for their people. Why is it the answer you have is different? I said, what do you mean? Well, it seems like you're hard on people. I said, no, man, I'm not being hard on people. I'm just trying to take care of my environment. I'm not trying, I don't practice being a DIK. I'm trying to take care of my environment. My decisions are about my environment, right? So little Grant's this little phone right here. This is little Grant. He got issues. He needs to clean up his issues. Grant's got to get hard on Grant. Okay, you guys out there, y'all so soft on your people, it's because you're soft on yourself. Right? That's why you end up with no money. You end up with people betraying you. You end up with people taking advantage of you. Even your kids don't appreciate you. Dude, you got to be hard on yourself. I'm hard on everybody around me, but mostly I'm hard on me.
I'm making $2.4 million a year. If I could figure out how to get another $200, that's called value add, VA, value add. If I could figure out how to raise the rent to $200, 531 units. See, that's why the number of units is so important. 531, $106,000 times what? Is what? 1 point. See, that creates another $1,274,000 of income a year. I'm already making $2.4 million a year. Bam! That traffic jam. Okay? I got more cash flow. I don't have to go work. I don't have to beat stuff up. I don't have to go Uber. You guys are, I'm gonna go Uber. To what? What you go Uber to? You end up with $7. Same energy, folks, same energy. Spend the energy going someplace, getting a vehicle that can actually get you to freedom. I don't want money. This money, I've had this money here the whole time, okay? It ain't gonna do anything. How many got money in the bank right now? It's useless. Money is useless until it is put to use. People earn money and then they spend it. And you're just doing this thing. Comes in, it goes out. You have to have multiple exits on the way out. How do I get out of this deal? I know people that have bought real estate that they're like, it cash flows, but they're like, I can never get rid of this piece of property. It's always going to be a problem for me. Hang me around my neck. But it pays me a little bit of money. Okay? Now, if it's only one unit, folks, and it makes you $500 a month, it's still only $500 a month. Everybody agree? That's why you don't want to go small. You got to figure out how to do it big. If you do it big, if you do it right, if you have the right location, the barriers to entry, if you have the cash flow that you need, if you get good debt on it, I promise you, you will not lose money in this space. Warren Buffett said, don't lose money. Number 2, what? Number 3. Exactly. So when I read that, I'm like, don't lose money, don't lose money, don't lose money. What do I invest in? Oh, invest in something that doesn't lose money. Don't speculate. Don't buy stocks. Like, I don't want to trade a piece of paper for a piece of paper. It's a piece of paper. When you go buy $20 worth of Google stock, what do you get? You get a piece of paper back. It's all made up. The kids steal it anyway. Okay, I want something I can see. Would you agree? Okay, I would rather have that money. I'd rather take this money and say, okay, here's $100. Here's $100. I'm going to take the $100 and I'm going to buy a flip chart. This flip chart is more valuable than that $100. If I use it, everybody agree? Yeah. Okay, so I want you to write this down. Quit saving money. The banks have brainwashed you. Save your money, save your money, save your money, save your money. The Wall Street also did this. Stay liquid, stay liquid, stay liquid. You want liquidity. No, you do not want liquidity. You want to be illiquid and you do not want to save money.
People should be studying the most successful companies in the world, not individuals. Don't worry about Dave or Gary or Tony or Grant. What are successful people doing? You know, one of the biggest mistakes I've made in my life was tracking people that were doing better than me. So what? Like I made so many dumbass decisions because Dave did it. Or The Millionaire Next Door, that book. I don't want to be the millionaire next door. I want to know what Jeff Bezos is doing. I want to know what the boys at Google are doing. Okay? Why does a guy like Mark Zuckerberg go from college dorm room to one of the richest people on the planet? That's who we should be studying. And don't listen to everybody else. Because those people have financial freedom to the point to where they can do anything they want. Like, you cannot mess up some of these people's situation. They couldn't screw it up if they wanted to. So the 10X rule it says, hey, look, you want to scale to a point to where you have the life you deserve. It's not about the money you want or the money you need. Scale your business so you can walk away from it and money never stops taking care of you and your family. You don't need to study 27 different Warrens. You study one Warren, you're probably going to be good. Most of us, because of Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, we're listening to so many different people that people do nothing. This is the new crisis of our era. People are doing nothing, not because they're lazy, because they have data that is conflicting. So if you listen to Dave says buy a house, then you listen to Grant says that's stupid, you're not going to do anything. And if you're never going to buy any real estate, hey, go ahead and buy one house. Yeah, you're going to regret it later, and you're going to be like, I wish I'd have done what Cardone said. But you got to do something. And what you don't want to do is listen to God and the devil, because then you get stuck in purgatory and you don't have any fun at all.
You need to dream big. I mean, you cannot dream big enough. I'm telling you, you can't dream big enough. You can do more than you're doing, but you can't do more than you're doing if you hang around with little thinkers. That could be your family members, could be your friends, could be people you're going to school with and hanging out with. Look, there's a time and a place to hang out with those people. Can't pick your family. I mean, they say you can't. I wonder sometimes if we don't actually do the picking and just show up there. But I'll save that for another conversation. But I do know once you get with your family, the family that you picked or they picked, or however that might work, the selection process, wherever you went to school or go to school, or where you grew up or how you grew up, or religion you grew up in, or whether you're white or black or brown, male or female, the question's always going to be, What can you do to do more with your life? To find your mission, to find your purpose, to find what you're great at, to get great at the things maybe that you're not great at, that you don't even like doing. Think big. I'm telling you, you can do more, and you will do more than you ever imagined. If you're ever successful in your life, if you ever hit it, and you can, you will look back 10, 15, 20 years from now and say, God, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? I promise you. You know, it's like 80 pounds of weight looks like a lot when you're 5 or 6 years old. Later, it's pretty easy to pick that up. No matter what your frame is, as long as you do the work and show up in the gym, one day you'll be able to pick that barbell up. Just like in life, okay? The things that you think are impossible today, the things that you hate today, the things that you aren't good at, the things that you think are a waste of time, the things that make you angry are all opportunities for you.
How many in your room are broke right now? You're broke. You're like just dead broke. Like if I went and banged on your credit card, it would scream and call the police. No, alert 911, call them out right now. This cannot be used again. That's fine, dude, that's fine. You still need to have your dreams. You need to start dreaming now. How old are you, dude? 22 years old. You got any money at all? But he's got a little diamond in his ear, right here. He ain't got any money, but he's like, look at that. I'm shining. Huh? I'm shining. Come here, man. Yeah, come here, man. Come here. I'm shining. I got a little cubic. Come on up here, man. 22 years old, man. 22 years old. You know what I was doing every day? 22 years old. What do you weigh, man? How much you weigh? Oh, you got one in both ears. Look at this. Get a close up. Can you get a close up? Look at that, man. Oh, he's so cool. He's so cool. Look, he looks good too, man. He looks good. Okay, look. How much money do you have to your name?
Probably like $1,000.
$1,000. What?
I feel like $1 million though.
Yeah. Either way, bro, you're broke. You agree with that?
Oh yeah.
You're broke. You guys need to admit it. You need to know when you're broke. The man's got $1,000. Right? He goes to jail today. He's broke. So but that does not mean you can't dream. So right now, what he's gonna do is his dreams are gonna be like, okay, man, like I just wanna get a $2,000, or I just wanna get some of these, or I wanna get a watch. Dude, that's not the dream, folks. You know, when you were a kid, 12 years old, what do you want? You want a car. I can't wait till I get a car. You don't think about, I'm gonna own a car dealership. You think, I want a car. You don't think, hey man, I'm gonna make a new car that flies. Right? See, that's why he ended up with these little cubics. Because his dreams aren't big enough. Get off the stage. Okay, but he's in the right place. He's in the right place. Everybody agree?
From 15 to 25, I was using drugs every day. So when I tell you, hey, you can do anything, I was a habitual daily drug user. Overdosed 3 times. Was brought back by people just wandering into a room saying, oh, this guy's in trouble. Okay, I don't know if I was trying to kill myself at the time, or I was just didn't know what I was doing, or stupid, or whatever. Like, I was a walking time bomb, and I was not to be trusted by my family, by my friends. There was no one in my life between 15 and 25 that I could have a positive influence on. I was a liability to everyone in my life, including my family and my friends and people I went to school with and the places I worked at. I lost 7 jobs in a row. I was unemployable. 25, I went to a treatment center and said, I gotta turn this around. I cannot keep using drugs. They're bad for me. I make poor decisions when I'm using them. I go out with the wrong people, hang with the wrong people, end up in the wrong fights. I literally got, like, when you're using drugs, you're gonna pick fights you can't win, not in a lifetime. You're gonna get in the wrong cars, make the wrong decisions, the wrong purchases, and you're gonna miss a lot of great opportunities. So first thing is, you can't do great things if you're incapable of making great decisions. And when you're under the influence, and I don't want to preach to you. I'm just telling you what advice I'd give myself if I was on the comeback and I was 15 years old and being influenced by everybody smoking the kush. It's cool now. It's probably going to be legal everywhere. Going out drinking on the weekends, forgetting everything that you did, and just making poor decisions. So I would tell you, hey, you got to figure out how is that going to somehow advance your life. You're going to have to make some hard choices. If I'm a young guy coming up, young gal coming up, how can I pick great relationships when everybody's under the influence? And again, I don't mean to sound like a preacher or anything, because I'm definitely not that. We're going to have a great time this weekend. I'm here for a week. We're going to have a lot of fun. But I couldn't do that if I was still under the influence every day.
So have 12 employees. I'm sure at one point you had 4 or 5 employees. How did you go from 4 or 5 to whatever you have now?
I had 2 employees from the age of 29. From the age of 30 to 38 years old, I had 2 employees for 8 years. I did everything. I was the secretary, phone answer, I did payroll, stole for myself, did my taxes. I did my own taxes. I wouldn't pay anybody anything. Okay, from 30 to 38, 38 to 45, I added like 2 or 3 people. I was officing out of the guest house at my place that I lived at in Los Angeles.
It's a big guest house, big pool house.
It was an awesome house. Lionel Richie lived in that house. It was a cool house, right? But it was small thinking, man. I was still thinking little. And if you're going to stay small, you're going to get crushed.
So what pushed you over the edge?
2008 and 2009.
So what eventually made you say, you know what, I'm just going to make it big with you?
What happened was a guy told me years before that bigger's not better, and I believed it. Because he busted out when he went big, and he says, Grant, bigger's not better, man. Stay small. And I believed that, dude, and I carried it on a long time. It's bad advice. Knowledge is power. Bad knowledge is too. So what I did was I stayed small till I was 45 years old, 5 employees. I was one of them, so 4. And when 2008 came, I'm like, this was stupid, dude. Like, I got to scale. And that was what, 12, how many years ago was that? 9 years? 7 or 8 years ago? There was no jet. There was no big office. It just shows you, man, when you change your mind and start like, hey, I'm going to scale this thing out. I'm going to go global. I'm going to have people know me. I'm going to get attention. I'm going to get my products out. I'm going to lower my prices. I'm going to bring this thing to market. I'm going to get big, bring in good people. We have, how many employees we have now, Jared? 72 at the office. We got our partners here tonight. We got another 150 in the real estate game. We're going to expand that. We'll probably pick up another 12 or 15 this month because of 2 more deals we're bringing on. And next year I'm talking about going global. So everything that's happened really good to us has happened because of the expansion.
You failed the business, no problem. You restart another business. So the way to play this is, let's go ahead and give your business the best shot. You need training. You're going to need sales. You're going to need phone skills. You're going to need follow-up. Otherwise, it's going to fail. Okay, now watch. We put it on a credit card. If we put it on a credit card and you fail, the bankruptcy court picks up the Visa, MasterCard, the American Express. The training contract you did with us lives on for your next company. You guys understand that? 100% of those people will continue on in some other business. A few of them will commit suicide. Okay? I'm done. But the rest of them are going to be like, I got to go do something. And they are going to restructure and start another company. Donald Trump has restructured casinos, man. This is not a new thing. Like, the big boys restructure. Okay, fail, boom, we restructure, we'll create something new. I still got a business, okay? You got to get this guy to see, this might fail, but you won't. Because you won't quit and you're going to be over here.
Pay the price today, okay? Learn to discipline yourself. If you got to go to the gym every day, if you hate going to the gym, go to the gym. I don't like going to the gym, but I'm like, I don't like my body hurting either. Sooner or later, if you don't go to the gym and work your body will scream at you and it will hurt. Lower back pains, arms, shoulders, knees, you name it. It's always going to hurt. And as long as it's hurting, how can you be fully available for the people around you if your body's hurting? 2, you got to eat good foods, okay? Got to make decisions. I ain't going to eat junk. I'm not going to eat the junk. Why? Why? Because I'm saying no to junk. And if you can start saying no to stuff, you can start saying yes to the good things. Like my little girl right there, Sabrina. Say hi, Sabrina. Hey. So pay the price today. Learn how to be great at jobs you hate. That's paying the price. Get up early. Go to bed early. Okay, beat the sun up every morning. It'll give you so much confidence. I'm paying the price when I do that. When I get up before the sun gets up, I'm paying the price. When I go to bed at 9 o'clock and I'm not watching TV and movies and just being entertained and affected whatever's coming my way, I'm paying the price. When I don't waste the weekends make you weak. Listen to me. Weekends are for weak people. Anything after 10 o'clock at night, it's for weak people. Okay, Saturday and Sunday, staying up all night, weak people. People are made weak on the weekends. Pay the price, okay? Give up the weekends for the next 5 years and watch what happens. 5 years, man, that's a lot of weekends. That's, what is that, 250 weekends? Is that right? Yeah, 250 weekends. That means I'm ahead of the people around me. I'm paying the price today in hopes that I could pay any price in the future.
And I just thought we'd take a shot at one of these obnoxious car videos, because I know you guys love automobiles, probably more than I love them, as the private jet flies over us. This is a completely obnoxious, I'm just gonna be completely transparent for all the haters and the naysayers and the bitches, all of you out there that hate on people that are successful. I thought I'd give you something to hate on today because content is king, right? Okay, today we have my driver car. My driver car, this is what I roll in. This is the 2021 Cullinan, Rolls-Royce Cullinan, $454,000 of nothing but super swag, obnoxious. Thank you, Bernie Marino, the next senator of Ohio, by the way, for this complete obnoxious beast of an automobile, okay? This is not dog friendly, by the way. You put a dog back here, boom, that bad boy gonna be dead, okay? Now, to my Tuesday car, Spider 458, what is it? 488. 488. I ain't got my numbers right, but I got my money right, okay? 488 Lowrider Tuesday, get me ready for hump day, okay? This thing is so fast, it is freaking unbelievable. Brings me to my Wednesday car. You know what they say about Wednesdays is hump day, okay? This thing is nothing but just freaking stupid luxury. Stupid Bentley luxury. $368,000 of nothing but obnoxious. To bring me to my washer car, okay? $180,000 Mercedes V8, beautiful 4-door sedan. When those bad boys are getting washed, I take a day off and drive in the little Benz just to keep me grateful about the obnoxious, crazy stuff I got up there, okay? That brings me to my Friday car, right? Do I have a Friday car? Yeah, this is my Thursday car. This is my Friday rider. This is when I go DJ Khaled. We the best. This is a Phantom, folks. This is $650,000 and nothing but beast, obnoxious, freaking crazy black on black badge. But let me show you what I use on the weekends. This is the vehicle that does it all for me, okay? What's up, man? My taco truck. Saturdays, Sundays is my taco truck. This is how I pay for all the obnoxious selling on the weekends. Weekends are for the weak. Taco trucks are for the terrific. Go get you a damn taco truck so you can buy all this obnoxious. Bentley bling, Italiano, Fratello, Familia, Cullinan cuisine. Grant Cardone is the king, and I'm obnoxious as like my video.
My wealth ultimately is not the money I have, it's the knowledge I have
and the belief I have in myself. The same thing for you. But I want to take you on this trip because look, number one, you got to visualize it. You got to be able to see it in your mind like possibility. Second thing is you got to see it, you know, in the physical universe. You can explain to me what a bougainvillea is. You can explain to me what a beach is. You can explain to me what the gym looks like on the second floor in Cabo San Lucas at this beautiful hotel we're at. But until I visually, physically put an image to the ocean, to the whales, to the sunshine, to the mountains, until I visually see it, it doesn't become real. Third thing you want to do, number one, see it in your mind. I was doing a call today with Percy Miller, Master P. And he's like, first thing you got to do is see it in your mind. He grew up in extreme poverty in the projects. And he says, Grant, the first thing I had to do was I had to see it in my mind that I could get out. Second thing I had to do was see a picture of it in the physical universe. That's how valuable the internet is today, is that you get to see things that maybe are way outside your price range. You can see the Lambo, the Rolls, the big house, the trip. You can see the possibility of Elon going to Mars, you know, and all of a sudden all those things expand possibilities. So number one, you got to see it in your mind. Two, you got to see it in the physical universe. And this also includes other people, examples of other people that are doing great things. I'm not just talking about physical manifestation. I'm not talking about stuff. I'm not talking about watches and bracelets and rings and houses and cars. I'm talking about how can you actually manifest something in the real world that you have in your mind? How do you turn an idea into reality? And these things that I'm sharing with you will make it a possibility. When you dig deep on them, though, it's like, okay, well, how do I get closer to people that are doing those things? Because the third thing is you got to get closer to the thing you want. If you want a Gulf Stream, or if you want to solve the water problem on planet Earth, you're going to have to get closer, physically closer. Step on, not just see with your eyes in a magazine or on the internet. You need to put your feet in the sand, put your feet on the jet. Now that might mean that you got to go fuel jets for a while. You got to go work at an aviation company, an airport, and actually fuel them, clean them, wash them. Maybe you got to be a flight attendant on them. Put your feet next to them. Maybe you have to become a pilot. You're going to have to pay the price though. There's no free lunch here for anybody, including my children. There's no free lunch. There's no way to know what this room feels like, the expansiveness of this room, by looking at it on the internet. The moment you can get in it, it'll become even more real to you. The fourth thing is you got to put your feet in this deal. You got to put your feet in this deal. There's a horse down there. You can visualize a horse. You can see the horse. You got to touch the horse. And the fourth thing, you got to touch the horse. And the fourth thing is you guys got to collaborate with other people, man. You got to get in the room with other people, whether you're serving water. If they don't invite you to sit down, then offer them money to sit down with them. If that doesn't work, offer to serve them to sit down. Okay, this is a story of my life could be wrapped up in these four things right here. Number one, see it in my mind. Number two, see it in the physical universe, like see it in some, not physical, but in metaverse, on the internet, in a magazine, a picture of it. Third, get closer to it. Put your feet on it. On the plane, on the horse, on the beach, in the hotel. If I got to go work there to do it. And the fourth thing is you got to network with people that have stuff. Okay. Again, I spent some time this week with Dame Dash. She's like, look, you got to get close to the action. You got to get with the people that are making the moves. You cannot make the moves from your own neighborhood. Percy Miller told me you cannot make the moves from the projects. You got to move from the projects, not make the moves in the project. Quit working street corners. Quit selling just a product and start hanging out with people that have scaled their ideas into a reality.
Your bank money right now is earning 0.0025%. My real estate's earning 20%. If you have no place to go, you see, when I was 26 years old, I was broke. 27, I was broke. 28, I was broke. 29, I was broke. 30, I was broke. You know why? Because I'd take the $5 grand and I'd push it off to the side and I was broke again, hustling to go get another $5 grand. Why? Because I knew where I was going. I was going here. I'm like, I'm gonna be a millionaire, dude. Ain't nobody gonna take this deal from me, and I am not gonna wait till I'm 90 years old to get the $1 million. Right? By the time I'm 33 years old, I had $1,125,127 in the damn account. $1,125,127, 33 years old, and I started with no money at 25. How? I got the 5,000. I don't need to go buy something yet. I got to add that every year. Now I need to learn how to get that money to grow. 20% a year. It'll take me 20 years to get it done. How did I get it done in 8 years? I must have either added money or earned more than 20%. And it was a combination of both. How do you do that? You don't do it at your job. You can't be a waitress making, 40,000 bucks a year and all of a sudden make 20% more at your job. You can't, it just doesn't, you can't just all of a sudden say, I'm 20% better, give me 20% more money. And even if you could, you'll do it one time, not every year. Francisco cannot be such a good cameraman that he's like, hey dude, look, give me a 20% raise this year. All right. Can he do it again next year? Sooner or later, I'm gonna be like, tapping out, dog. Okay, your photos aren't that good. I mean, they were good, but now they're getting expensive.
I'm 63 years old, I'll be 64 in March, and I feel like I'm like 14 years old, man. I'm like, let's roll, let's go. I'm ready to run through walls and fly and learn new stuff. I'm studying cryptos right now and the metaverse and what happens and when do I make a play and do I make a play and what is all this? So number one, you have to stay curious. Number one, curious. You have to be curious. When Clubhouse came around, Clubhouse is an audio app, if you don't know what that is. A couple of years ago, most of the people in my office, including Jared, was like, man, ain't nothing, there's nothing there. I'm like, oh, there's people there though. There's people there. And what I discovered, because I was curious about Clubhouse, is not because I was curious about social media. I was curious about people. To me, I get energy from people. And so I've been in rooms where Alan, have y'all met Alan yet? So Alan saw me go in a room one night and he texted me. He's like, what the hell you doing in this room, man? And I said, well, what's up? He's like, get out of this room. And I said, what you worried about? He's like, you're the only white person in the room and the title is White Entitlement. And he sends me a little sweaty emoji. I said, bro, how am I gonna learn about white entitlement with white people? You gotta be curious, folks. Just because it has nothing to do with you doesn't mean your market's not there. And for me to be able to market to a market means I need to understand how that market thinks. So one of the great benefits of me being curious, particularly about two-way communication on social media, the feedback. I'm not looking for likes and comments. I'm looking for something, some electricity in the moment. What you're talking about, the drive, potential, an idea. All my ideas come from, I don't fabricate ideas. Everything you see me do happened. It was happening already in the universe. I don't create anything. I just grab something that's already there. And I grab it out of something I hear. So the Supreme Court today announced they kicked out the mandate for the vaccine. I'm like, hey, man. Okay, good. You like it or don't like it. Y'all need to get on one side of that story and start talking to people about it so you gain that audience. You need, I don't want to be political. See, that's stupid, man. There's nothing that raises more money than politics. Nothing. There's nothing. And most of it's just a scam. And everybody knows it. They're like, I'm throwing in. They ain't throwing in for their side. They're throwing in to keep the other side that they're worried about. The point of the story is there's energy there. There's tremendous amounts of energy that you want to tap into. If you could walk the line and play both of them, that'd be super cool. Very difficult to do that, though. So when that came out today, I'm like, good job, man. I got to take a stand on that. Now, will I lose some people? 100%. I don't care who I lose. There's 8 billion people on this planet. I'm worried about who doesn't know me. So the way to protect your brand is to expand it. That's the only way to protect your brand.
I'm 19 years old and I run a consulting firm. And right now, I just tell you real estate stuff, and I have only about 60 grand from what I've done saved up.
Yeah.
And do you think I need to still wait till 100 grand to invest in real estate, or is that too little?
How long you had 60 grand?
For just 12 months now.
Yeah, dude. You got to get the other 40, bro. It's an arbitrary number. I just made up the number. It could be 110. It could be, dude. It's just so you know. First of all, when you get to 100, call me, and I'm gonna probably tell you, hey man, you need to wait till you got 350. But at least then you're going to be like, you know what? I learned how to not just make 100, save 100, and put 100 away. People are investing too soon. You guys are investing $3,000 here, $2,000 over here, $1,000, 500. You're walking away from it. It's never worth any money. It's dumb. And you never create the discipline. What you end up with is a bunch of losses, a bunch of little losses, rather than knowing I have the confidence that I can make money, set it aside, protect it, right? Protect it like a kid, right? It's not going to get in a wreck. I don't lose it. I would do that first.
So is there an age?
I didn't invest, my first investment was $5,000 and I blew it. And I'm like, I'm not doing that again. My next investment's going to be big, where I'm going to watch it. Because if it's big enough, dude, if your life depends on it, you'll get up in the mornings and you'll watch it. So my next deal was $350,000. It took 3 years to do it. All I did was save money, save money, save money. I put $350,000 in the deal, sold that deal for $4 million, a $4 million profit.
Put every last penny you had?
I had 1/3 of all my money in that deal. I had $1 million, like $1.1 million. Put $350 in my first deal. 30 days later, put $450 in a second deal. 90 days later, put all the rest of my capital, 100% of all my money, plus $90,000 in 3 real estate deals. Those are the first 3 investments I ever made. The first 3 of 4 investments I made in my entire life.
One of them worked out?
3 of the 4 did. The little one didn't. The little one couldn't work. It's impossible to work. It was too small. What's it going to do? It's not going to do anything. It's like going into a casino and you bet $15. Right? You get blackjack. So what? It's still $15. The first thing you're going to say is, dude, I should have bet everything. But you didn't. You shouldn't even be in there.
Look, buying a jet was something I never dreamed I'd do. I never. Okay? I only started thinking about it 4 or 5 years ago. When I'm young and broke, I'm growing up in Louisiana, middle class, being told, be grateful you got a bike. Be grateful you got clothes on your back and you get 3 meals. Be grateful for all that you got because you got it better than I do. I never dreamed of having my own damn jet. Whatever you have to do to keep your purpose burning hot, you do it. You borrow money, okay? Use money. If it requires money, so be it. If you're truly obsessed, it will be worth it because you will get the results. You know, the secret to sustaining the obsession is a straightforward one. Focus your efforts on everything that will fuel you for the long run and ignore, eliminate, and block out anything that drains you or causes you doubt. Money, power, fame, success, all of them follow attention. So what gets the most attention is what will grow. The problem with these things is money, power, fame, and success, even time off. They require attention. They're like jealous lovers. They need constant attention or they're gonna leave you. How you invest your time is more important than how you invest your money. Being obsessed with your sense of purpose across every part of your life will allow you to accomplish all the things you desire. I think most people are not accomplishing what they want in one area of life because they quit on all the other ones. If you quit on all the other ones, how are you gonna get this one to run? Nothing inspires me more than surrounding myself with people who have achieved more than I have and then meeting new people. The obsessed must surround themselves with people you trust and respect who think big, who've done bigger than you, and who can help you get to where you want to go. You think you can run only so fast? Time is no longer an excuse because the obsessed make time. They don't make excuses.
$5,000 is a doable deal. How do I do it? It's $412 a month. Okay? I got to go steal the money. I can steal $5,000. You could steal $5,000 from me and I wouldn't even know it's going to be like. If you could add $5,000 to that and earn 20%, it'd be worth $1,125,000. If you can do this at 10%, it'd be worth $320,000. Some of you small thinkers out there be like, dude, I'll take the $320,000. How do I get 10 and how do I get 20? You guys have figured this out. You're like, if the play is big enough, dude, I'll figure that out. Everybody agree? See what I just I shifted your mind by giving you a target. I don't go to Target, I get targets and I keep targets and I refresh the target. And the target is I want to be a millionaire. But over the period of time, I got 20 years by the way, what would pay me 20% a year over 20 years? And that is when your boy GC got rich. I didn't get rich speaking. I didn't get rich selling books. I got rich shopping real estate. 30 years old, shopping every weekend, dude, every weekend. All I did between 25 and 30 years old was make money, and push it aside, push it aside, push it aside. Even when in the first years when I was not, watch this, even when I was not 25 years old, 5 grand, boom. Next year, 5 grand, boom. Next year, 5 grand, boom. Guess what? Next year, oh, by the way, this money's sitting dead in the bank. It's not earning anything. It's in a holy account. Holy means, okay, I'm gonna put a hole in your face if you touch my money. Nobody could get this money. This is a like sacred account. Okay, you with me? 28. Oh wow, man, I could add a little bit. Maybe there's more money. 29. What am I doing right here? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom! I got $25,000 sitting in an account. It wasn't $1 million, and I'm 5 years into the plan. But when I was ready to start investing money, I started doing my homework. 30 years old. Homework. Shopping properties. 31. Homework. Shopping properties. 32. I'm not buying cars. You guys are buying cars, flying on jet charters, showing off, going on vacations. All I'm doing is stacking paper. Guess what happens? I had 5 years of putting 5 grand away. Next thing you know, I had $25,000 to add to my $25,000. Next year, I'm making more money. I got $25,000. You see what I'm doing? I'm stacking dough and looking for 20%. I know there's a 20% play out there. Some of this money was sitting in the bank. This is years and years ago where the bank was paying me 6 or 7 or 8. It didn't matter. That's not the target. The target is to get to 1 million. Remember this? And let's open up the calls, okay? Your job is to find a vehicle that can pay you 20% a year. Might be a business, might be the business you're in. It might be to buy advertising for the business or brand you're in. For me, it was this. I'm gonna buy real estate that over long periods of time, I will earn cash flow, okay? That's how the real estate works. I put $25,000 in a deal. That deal is probably gonna pay me 10% a year. You said, yeah, but Grant, you said, what'd you say, Grant? What'd you say? 20%, Grant, that's what you said. Yeah, I know what I said. This ain't Eddie, okay? Now how much do I have? I could reinvest that money back in the deal. The next year I have $27,500. I earn 10% on that. That's $27.50 or something like that. I reinvest that. Now I got $30,000 in the deal. Okay, but what you don't know is the rent on this property as I own it over 20 years, 2038 we'll dispose of this thing. The rent is going up. As I'm adding money, the rent's going up. And maybe this goes from 10% a year. By the time I sell, I want it to be at 20%, okay? My average deal has paid me over 30% a year. So when you start taking money and start compounding it like that, for long periods of time. The trick is long periods of time.
If you want another awesome Grant Cardone video, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.